The message arrived at midnight, encrypted and anonymous. Taeyang stared at his computer screen, reading the coordinates over and over. Koros 7. A planet that should not exist in any official records. A place the Galactic Council had erased from all maps. He leaned back in his chair, his small apartment dark except for the blue glow of the screen. For 3 years, he had searched for clues about humanity's lost colonies. The Great Silence, they called it. 1,000 years ago, Earth lost contact with dozens of settlements. Some said it was a technical failure, others whispered darker theories. But the Galactic Council never allowed humans to investigate. They said it was for humanity's own protection. Taeyang did not believe them. He grabbed his phone and called Haewon. She answered on the 3rd ring, her voice thick with sleep. "This better be important," she said. "I found it. Koros 7. I have the coordinates." Silence on the other end. Then he heard her sit up. "You are joking." "I am not joking. We leave tomorrow, Taeyang. We will be arrested. The council banned all travel to old colony worlds. They will throw us in prison, only if they catch us." He smiled in the darkness. "Pack your tools. I am calling Bora next." Haewon sighed. "You are going to get us killed. Maybe. But we will die knowing the truth." 2 days later, their small ship dropped out of hyperspace near Koros 7. Bora sat at the controls, her fingers dancing across the navigation console. She was the best pilot Taeyang knew, and the only one crazy enough to accept this mission. "No orbital defenses," Bora said. "No ships, nothing. The planet looks dead." "Good." Taeyang moved to the sensor station next to Haewon. "Start scanning for structures." Haewon frowned at her screen. "This is strange. I am getting readings all over the planet. Old power sources. Still active after 1,000 years. Automated systems?" Bora asked. "Maybe. But why would they still be running?" Taeyang felt his heart beat faster. "Because someone wanted to protect something. Take us down." The ship descended through thick clouds. When they broke through, Taeyang saw the ruins. A massive city sprawled across a valley. Buildings still standing. Streets empty and silent. In the center rose a temple complex. 5 towers arranged in a circle around a central courtyard. "There," Taeyang pointed. "Land near the temple." They touched down on an old landing pad. The surface was cracked but stable. When they opened the airlock, warm air rushed in. The planet was habitable. Exactly as the old record said. Taeyang stepped onto Koros 7 soil for the first time. He felt something strange, a tingling in his chest. Like the planet was watching him. "Equipment check," Haewon said. "All business." She handed out scanners and communicators. "Stay in contact. If anything goes wrong, we run back to the ship." They walked through the empty city. Buildings rose on either side, their walls covered in climbing plants. Nature had reclaimed much of the colony, but the structures remained intact. Taeyang saw homes, shops, a school. This had been a living community once. Where did everyone go? The temple loomed ahead. As they got closer, Taeyang saw symbols carved into the walls. Old Korean, the language his grandmother had taught him as a child. He could read some of it. "Warning," he whispered, tracing the characters with his fingers. "Turn back. Sealed by order of the last keeper." "Last keeper of what?" Bora asked. "I do not know." Taeyang pushed open the temple doors. They moved smoothly, as if opened yesterday. Inside, the temple was dark and cool. Their lights swept across walls covered in more inscriptions. Haewon gasped. "Look at this. Thousands of words. A complete history, maybe." Taeyang was not looking at the walls. He was looking at the center of the courtyard. A stone well sat there, 8 feet wide, covered by a heavy metal lid, chains wrapped around it, sealed with some kind of crystalline locks that glowed faintly. There, he said. That is what they protected. They approached the well carefully. HFY pulled out her scanner, but as soon as she pointed it at the well, the device sparked and died. What? She shook it, tried to restart it. Nothing. My scanner just fried. Bora tried hers. Same result. Some kind of electromagnetic field? Tae-young knelt beside the well. He could see more writing on the lid. His heart pounded as he read the words. The last keeper sealed what humanity must never touch again. 13 souls rest below, their power too great, their burden too heavy. May they sleep until the stars grow cold. 13 souls? HFY knelt beside him. What does that mean? I do not know. But look at these chains. They are not just physical locks. This is some kind of energy seal. Bora walked around the well, studying it from all angles. Why seal a well? What is down there? Tae-young pressed his ear to the metal lid. For a moment, he heard nothing. Then, faint but clear, the sound of water echoing from far below. There is water down there, he said. I can hear it. That is impossible. HFY said. My scanner said the well was empty. Complete vacuum. Your scanner was wrong. Tae-young stood up, looking around the temple. Are you insane? Bora stared at him. Did you not read the warnings? Never touch again? 13 souls? This screams bad idea. This is why we came here. To find answers. Maybe some answers should stay buried, HFY said quietly. But Tae-young was not listening. He was studying the seals, looking for a way to break them. The others did not understand. This well held the secret. He could feel it. After 3 days of searching the temple, finding old computer terminals and slowly piecing together fragments of data, he knew he was right. On the 3rd night, Bora came running into the temple. We have a problem. Big problem. I just picked up a transmission. Sarth language. There is a diplomatic ship in orbit. How is that possible? HFY asked. We did not see anything when we arrived. They were hidden, using some kind of stealth field. And I think they have been watching us. They were hidden. Tae-young felt cold. The Sarth were the Galactic Council's enforcers. If they were here, humanity's secret was out. How long do we have? He asked. I do not know. But I think we need to leave. Now. Tae-young looked at the sealed well. So close. After all this searching, all this risk, they were so close to the truth. No, he said. We open it tonight. Tae-young, HFY started. Tonight, he repeated. Before they can stop us, he did not tell them about the voice he had started hearing in his dreams. A whisper, calling his name, promising answers, promising power, coming from deep below the ground, from the sealed well that should have been empty, from the water that should not exist. The crystal locks glowed brighter as Tae-young touched them. He pulled his hand back, surprised by the warmth. These were not just mechanical seals. They were alive in some way, powered by energy he did not understand. We need to access the temple computers, HFY said. She had found an old terminal in one of the side chambers. If we can restore power, maybe we can find out what this well actually is. For 2 hours, she worked on the ancient machine. Bora paced near the entrance, watching the sky for signs of the Sarth ship. Tae-young could not stop staring at the well. The voice in his dreams was louder now, even when he was awake. It spoke in Korean, old Korean, using words his grandmother had taught him. Brother, the voice whispered. You came back. Open the door. Let me see the stars again. The terminal is powering up, HFY called out. I am getting something. Wait. There is an AI fragment here. Very corrupted. But it is trying to communicate. The screen flickered. Text appeared, slow and broken. I am Quan. Historical archive. Core. Warning. Seal. Integrity. Failing. Quan. Taeyang moved to Haewon's side. Can you tell us what happened here? Why was this colony abandoned? The screen went dark for a moment. Then more text appeared. Not. Abandoned. Quarantined. Year, 1847. Discovery. In planet core. Entity. Technology. Unknown. Humans. Bonded. Became. Different. Haewon typed quickly. What kind of different? Power. Terrible power. Moving things. With thought. Seeing through. Time. Breaking. Reality. We called it the communion. 13 humans. Fully bonded. Too powerful. Too dangerous. Taeyang felt his mouth go dry. What happened to the 13? Last keeper. Sujin. She sealed them. Used life to power seals. 1 human in each seal. First seal. Strongest. The well. Warrior. Hyun. Most dangerous. Why did she seal them? Bora asked from behind them. Why not just help them? Could not. Communion. Spreads. Touch changes. Voice changes. One awakened. Awakens others. Galaxy learned. What we did. Aliens. Threatened extinction. Kill all. Humans everywhere. Sujin. Bought time. Bought. Survival. Seals would last. Forever. The screen flickered again. But something wrong. Seals. Weakening. Human genetics. Changed. 1,000 years. Of space travel. Your DNA. Different now. Seals. Recognize. But not fully. Bleeding energy. In 50 years. Seals fail. All 13. Awaken. Communion spreads. 2. All humans. Galaxy. Enacts protocol extinction. Taeyang stepped back from the terminal. His hands were shaking. We have to warn Earth. The Council will kill all of us. No one will believe us, Haewon said. We are criminals here, illegally. They will arrest us. Before we can speak. We need proof, Bora said. Something undeniable. Taeyang looked at the well. At the glowing seals. An idea formed in his mind. A terrible idea. What if we break the seal now? He said quietly. On our terms. Study what happens. Document everything. That would be proof. Are you insane? Haewon stood up. You just heard what Quan said. The 13 are dangerous. Reality breaking. Dangerous. The seals are failing anyway. In 50 years, all 13 will wake up. But if we wake one now, in a controlled way, we can learn how the communion works. Maybe find a way to stop it. Don. 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 Or maybe you will bond with it, Bora said. Become like them. Is that what you want? Power? I want answers, Taeyang said. But he was lying. Part of him did want it. The voice in his dreams promised so much. Knowledge. Strength. The ability to protect humanity from the aliens who wanted them dead. Haewon looked at him for a long moment. Your eyes are different. What? Your eyes. They have these tiny silver flecks in them. They were not there before. Taeyang touched his face. He had not noticed. But now that she said it, he realized his vision was sharper. He could see better in the dark temple. He could hear Bo-Ra's heartbeat from across the room. It is already starting, Haewon whispered. You are bonding with it. Just from being near the well. Then we have no choice. Taeyang walked to the well. If I am bonding anyway, we should do it properly. Learn everything we can. Taeyang, please. Haewon reached for him, but he was already kneeling by the seals. His hands knew what to do, as if the knowledge came from somewhere else. He touched the crystals in a specific pattern. They pulsed once, twice, then shattered into dust. The chains fell away. For a moment, nothing happened. Then, the metal lid began to glow. Heat radiated from it, making the air shimmer. Taeyang grabbed the edge and pulled. It was incredibly heavy, but his arms felt stronger than before. The lid moved. Taeyang, stop, Bo-Ra shouted, but he could not stop. The voice was loud now, urgent, calling his name. He heaved with all his strength. The lid flew off the well, crashing to the stone floor with a sound like thunder. Blue light erupted from the well. It shot upward in a column, touching the ceiling, spreading across the walls. The entire temple began to shake. Taeyang looked down into the well and saw water far below, glowing with the same blue light. It swirled like a whirlpool, ancient and alive. Brother, the voice said, not in his mind now but out loud, echoing from the well. You freed me. Now complete the bond. Drink. Become. Taeyang knew he should not. Every logical part of his mind screamed at him to run. But his body moved on its own. He leaned over the well and cupped his hands. The glowing water rose to meet him, defying gravity, flowing into his palms. He could hear Haewon screaming his name. Could hear Bo-Ra running toward him. But they seemed far away, moving in slow motion. He brought the water to his lips and drank. It tasted like lightning and starlight and thousand-year-old dreams. Cold fire ran down his throat, into his chest, spreading through every vein. His vision exploded into colors he had no names for. He could suddenly see in all directions at once. Could feel the gravity of the planet beneath him. Could sense the atomic bonds holding the stone temple together. His eyes changed. He saw his reflection in the glowing water, and his eyes were pure silver now, glowing like twin moons. No, he tried to say, but his voice came out wrong, layered. Two voices speaking at once. Behind him, the air began to shimmer. A figure formed, translucent and glowing. A woman in ancient clothes, her face kind but sad. She looked at Taeyang with eyes that had seen too much. The first seal is broken, she said, and her voice filled the temple like wind through bells. I am Sujin, the last keeper. I warned you, child of the new world. I warned you to stay away. Taeyang collapsed to the ground. Power surged through him in waves. Too much. Too fast. He could feel another consciousness in his mind. Strong. Warrior trained. Angry at being locked away for so long. I am Hyun, the voice said, using Taeyang's mouth. And I have been sleeping too long. What has the galaxy become while I dreamed? Haewon and Bo-Ra stood frozen, staring at the ghost and at their friend who was no longer just their friend. You fool, Sujin's ghost whispered. You have doomed us all. Taeyang tried to stand, but his body would not obey. He could feel Hyun fighting for control. Could feel his own identity slipping away, drowning in the memories of a warrior who had lived 1,000 years ago. Please, he managed to say with his own voice. Help me. But Sujin was fading, her form becoming transparent. The Sarth already know. They have been watching the seals for centuries. They felt the moment it broke. Their fleet is coming. How long? Bo-Ra asked. 2 days, Sujin said. Maybe less. And when they arrive, they will not arrest you. They will destroy this entire planet to make sure the communion never spreads. The ghost looked at Taeyang with pity and sorrow. Your people called this humanity. Fuck yeah. But sometimes, being human means knowing when to say no. You did not learn that lesson. Now you will pay the price. She vanished like smoke in wind. Taeyang screamed as Hyun's consciousness crashed through his mind like a tidal wave. Taeyang woke up 3 hours later. At least, his body woke up. His mind was somewhere else, floating in memories that were not his own. He saw battles on alien worlds. Saw Koros 7 when it was young and full of life. Saw the day the communion came. He is awake, Haewon's voice. Worried and close. Are you sure that is him? Bo-Ra, further away, scared. Taeyang opened his eyes. The temple ceiling came into focus. Every crack and stone perfectly clear. He could see dust particles floating in the air. Could count them. If he wanted. His vision was too sharp, too detailed. It hurt. My head, he groaned. But the voice that came out was wrong. Two voices layered together. His own, and something deeper. Older. He sat up fast. Too fast. He moved across the floor in a blur and slammed into the wall before he could stop. The stone cracked where he hit it. Careful, said a voice inside his head. Hyun's voice. Your body is different now. Stronger. Faster. You must learn control. Taeyang pushed himself off the wall, moving slowly this time. Haewon and Bo-Ra watched him like he was a wild animal. Are you okay? Haewon asked. I think so, Taeyang said. But I am not alone anymore. Hyun is here. In my mind. I can feel him. Can he control you? Bo-Ra had her hand on her weapon. No. Maybe. I do not know yet. Taeyang looked at his hands. They glowed faintly with blue light. We are learning to coexist. This is bad, Bo-Ra said. This is very bad. The air shimmered, and Sujin's ghost appeared again. She looked more solid than before, as if breaking the seal had strengthened her somehow. You are correct, she told Bo-Ra. This is very bad. The boy has bonded with Hyun, one of the most powerful warriors who ever lived. Together, they could level this city. With a thought. I would not, Taeyang said. Not yet, Sujin replied. But power corrupts. I watched it happen to all 13. They started with good intentions. Wanted to help humanity. But the communion changes you. Makes you feel superior. Makes you think you know better than everyone else. She floated closer to Taeyang, studying him with sad eyes. I need to tell you the truth. All of it. You deserve to know what you have become. Please, Taeyang said. Tell me everything. Sujin began to speak, and the story she told was nothing like the history books taught on Earth. Humans were not naturally limited. They were not meant to live bound by gravity and time and single-dimension thinking. Long ago, before Earth even joined the galaxy, scientists discovered something strange in human DNA. Latent abilities. Psychic potential. The capacity to evolve beyond normal physics. You were meant to be gods, Sujin said. Not cruel gods, or tyrant gods, but beings who could shape reality with will and thought. Every human carries this potential, but Earth's governments were afraid. They saw the chaos these abilities could cause. People reading minds, moving objects without touching them, seeing the future. So, they engineered genetic limiters, tiny changes in human DNA that locked away these abilities, made humanity normal, safe. They lied to everyone, Sujin continued. Said it was for the good of the species. And maybe it was, but they took away your birthright. Koros 7 was different. The colony was founded by scientists who knew the truth. They removed the limiters from their children. Let humanity grow naturally. The results were incredible. Within 3 generations, the colonists could do impossible things. The communion is not an outside force, Sujin explained. It is your own evolution. Your brain expanding into dimensions you cannot normally perceive. Your body learning to manipulate energy and matter at the quantum level. But the colonists grew too powerful too fast. They were like children with nuclear weapons. They did not mean to cause harm, but reality around them began to break. Time loops formed. Gravity wells appeared randomly. Some colonists could not control their abilities and destroyed entire buildings with emotional outbursts. The galaxy noticed, Sujin said. The Sarth and other species were terrified. They had never seen anything like us. In their entire history, no species naturally developed reality-bending powers. We were unique. And we were dangerous. The Galactic Council gave humanity an ultimatum. Stop the experiments. Seal away the evolved humans. Or face total extinction. Every human colony, every human ship, every human on Earth would be destroyed. I was the governor here, Sujin said. And I made a choice. I used ancient techniques, my own life force, to create 13 seals. The most powerful evolved humans were sealed away, put into suspended animation. I poured my soul into the seals to make them last forever. She looked at the broken well. The first seal. The strongest. Because Hyun was the most dangerous. A warrior who could stop time, move faster than light, manipulate gravity like a toy. He could kill 1,000 soldiers without touching them. Hyun spoke through Tae-young's mouth. I was a protector. I never wanted to hurt anyone. I know, Sujin said gently. But intentions do not matter when you can accidentally crush a building because you had a nightmare. She turned back to Tae-young. For 1,000 years, the seals held. Humanity survived because we proved we could control our dangerous members. The Council allowed Earth to join the galaxy. Humans spread across the stars. But always limited, always safe. Until now, Haewon said. Until now, Sujin agreed. Human genetics have changed. 1,000 years of breeding with no knowledge of the limiters. Some of you have mixed DNA that the seals do not recognize properly. The seals were made for the old human genome. They are failing. Tae-young felt sick. So when I drank from the well, you completed a bond that was already forming. Your family line descends from the original colonists. You carry compatible genetics. The moment you came near the well, Hyun began reaching out to you. The dreams, Tae-young whispered. Yes, he called to you. Wanted freedom, and you gave it to him. Bo-Ra stepped forward. What about the other 12 seals? Are they breaking too? Yes, slowly. In 50 years, maybe less, they will all fail. And then, the communion will spread to any human nearby. Hundreds will evolve. Thousands, maybe millions, all at once, with no training, no control. The galaxy will panic, Haewon said. The galaxy will enact protocol extinction, Sujin corrected. A standing order from the Council. If the communion ever spreads again, all humans everywhere will be killed. No warnings, no trials, just extermination. Silence filled the temple. Tae-young felt the weight of what he had done. He had not just endangered himself. He had endangered every human alive. The Sarth know, don't they? He asked. They were monitoring the seals. They have ships on the way right now, Sujin confirmed. Not to arrest you, to destroy you, to make sure the bond does not spread. How long do we have? 1 day. Maybe 2. Their fleet is fast. Tae-young stood up, trying to control his shaking hands. Power flowed through him in waves. He could feel Hyun's consciousness. Curious and alert, after so long asleep. He could sense the planet around him, feel the weight of the temple stones, hear conversations in the city ruins miles away. What can we do? He asked. Sujin looked at him for a long moment. I can seal you again, put Hyun back to sleep, put you into suspension. The seal would be weaker than before, but it would last your lifetime. And then what? Wait 50 years for all the seals to break anyway? Yes, but at least you would not start the extinction today. No. Hyun spoke through Tae-young. There must be another way. There is no other way, Sujin said sadly. I spent decades searching. The galaxy will not accept evolved humans. They fear you too much. Bo-Ra walked to the temple entrance and looked at the sky. We have another problem. I am detecting ships entering orbit. Not Sarth. These are smaller. Scout vessels. How many? Hay1 asked. 3. No, 4 now. They are setting up a perimeter. Sujin closed her eyes. They are hunting. Looking for the source of the seal break. They will find this temple soon. Taeyang felt Hyun stir in his mind. The warrior wanted to fight. Could fight. Together, they were strong enough to destroy ships, armies, maybe entire fleets. But that would only prove the galaxy's fears were correct. Would guarantee protocol, extinction. I need time, Taeyang said. Time to figure out the right answer. You do not have time, Sujin whispered. None of us do. The temple shook as something exploded in the distance. Through his enhanced hearing, Taeyang heard engines. Military engines. The Sarth were landing troops in the city. They are here, Bo-Ra said. We need to move, now. But where could they go? Taeyang looked at his glowing hands, at the ghost who had sacrificed everything to save humanity, at his friends, who were caught in a disaster they did not create. He had wanted answers. Now he had them, and they were terrifying. The first drone came through the temple door, moving fast and silent. Taeyang saw it before the others did. Time seemed to slow down. He watched the drone's weapons activate, watched the targeting laser sweep across Haewon's chest, watched the trigger mechanism begin to fire. He moved without thinking. One moment he was standing still. The next, he was across the temple, his hand closing around the drone. Metal crumpled like paper in his grip. The targeting laser went dark. How did you? Bo-Ra stared. You were over there. Taeyang looked at the crushed drone in his hand. He had moved faster than the eye could follow. Hyun's abilities flowing through him, like water. We need to leave, he said. His voice still carried that double quality. 2 speakers, using 1 mouth. More explosions outside. The Sarth were not being subtle. They were destroying the city systematically, working their way toward the temple. The ship, Haewon said. If we can reach it. They destroyed it an hour ago, Sujin's ghost interrupted. I watched through the temple sensors. Your vessel is a crater now. Then we are trapped, Bo-Ra said. No. Hyun spoke through Taeyang. We can fight. Together, this body can do things you cannot imagine. That is exactly what they want, Sujin argued. An excuse to call in the fleet. To show the galaxy that humans with the communion are monsters. Taeyang felt torn. Hyun's instincts wanted to protect his friends, wanted to use this incredible power. But Sujin was right. Every act of power would be used as evidence against humanity. There must be a third option, Taeyang said. Something between hiding and fighting. Haewon pulled out her portable computer. She had been working on something while they talked, fingers flying across the keys. What if we tell the truth? Show them we can control this? They will not listen, Sujin said. They might. If we can prove modern humans are different from the colonists, that we can handle the communion responsibly. Haewon showed them her screen. I have been recording everything, every word, every event. I can broadcast it to the Galactic Council. How? Bo-Ra asked. Our communications are blocked. Not completely. I found a quantum relay in the temple computers. Military grade. Still connected to the galactic network. Haewon smiled. Quan helped me activate it. Every species on the council can see what happens here if I transmit. Sujin drifted closer, studying the human woman. You are clever. But what will you show them? That one human bonded with the communion? They already know that. It changes nothing. It changes everything if Taeyang can prove he is in control. That he and Hyun can coexist peacefully. Another explosion rocked the temple. Closer this time. Taeyang could hear soldiers outside, Sarth voices shouting commands. They were surrounding the building. They will not wait for a demonstration, Sujin said. Ambassador Velt is leading them. He is council hardliner. He believes protocol extinction is the only answer. Then we show him he is wrong, Taeyang said. How? By destroying his soldiers? By proving you are as dangerous as he thinks? Taeyang closed his eyes. Inside his mind, he could feel Hyun. The warrior was ancient and tired. He had spent 1,000 years in darkness, dreaming. But his memories were clear. Taeyang could see them like they were his own. Hyun had not wanted power. He had been a simple soldier once. But the communion changed him, made him special. And that specialness had terrified everyone around him, until he had no choice but to be locked away. You never wanted to be sealed, Taeyang said to Hyun. No. The warrior replied inside their shared mind. But Sujin was right to do it. I was becoming something else. Something not quite human anymore. The power was making me forget what it meant to be weak, to need others, to be humble. Are you still human? I do not know. Are you? Taeyang opened his eyes. Sujin, you said you could seal us again. Make the bond dormant. Yes, but what if we did something different? What if we changed the seal? Made it permanent, but controllable. Locked the communion into human DNA as dormant code. Future humans could access it slowly, naturally, over thousands of years. Sujin stared at him. That is impossible. Would kill me. Taeyang finished. I know. I can feel it. But Hyun agrees. Show them we can sacrifice. Show them we choose wisdom over power. No, Haewon said. There has to be another way. There is not. Taeyang turned to her. You said you could broadcast this? Then do it. Show the galaxy everything. Let them watch a human choose to die, rather than become a god. Taeyang. Do it. Haewon's hands shook, but she activated the quantum relay. Broadcasting now. Every council species can see and hear us. The temple wall exploded inward. Sarth soldiers poured through the gap, weapons raised. Leading them was Ambassador Velt, his reptilian face twisted with anger. Surrender, he hissed. Or we will destroy you, where you stand. Wait, Taeyang said. He held up his glowing hands. The whole galaxy is watching. I know you want to kill me. To prove humans with the communion are dangerous. You are dangerous, Velt said. You broke 1,000-year seal. Released a power that should have stayed buried. You are right. I made a mistake, and now I am going to fix it. Taeyang walked toward the sealed well. The soldiers tensed, but did not fire. They wanted to see what he would do. Sujin appeared beside him. Are you certain? This will take everything. All of your life force. All of mine. There will be nothing left. I am certain, Taeyang said. As am I, Hyun added. Haewon was crying. Please do not do this. Watch, Taeyang told her. And tell the story later. Tell them what happened here. That humans can make the hard choice. He knelt by the well. The blue light still glowed from below. He could feel the power there, calling to him. All he had to do was drink more, become fully bonded, become unstoppable. Instead, he began the ritual Sujin taught him in a flash of transferred knowledge. His eyes blazed silver. His body lifted off the ground, floating. Energy poured from him in waves. Sujin joined him, her ghost becoming solid, real again for the first time in 1,000 years. Together, they wove a new kind of seal, not a lock, not a prison, but a promise. A genetic encoding that would pass to every human, everywhere. The communion would become dormant potential. Sleeping in human DNA, in 10,000 years, maybe 20,000, humans would naturally evolve to access it. But slowly, safely, with wisdom earned through time. Taeyang screamed as his life force burned away. He could feel himself disappearing, his consciousness fading. But Hyun was there, supporting him, sharing the burden. "Thank you," the warrior whispered, "for giving me one last chance to protect humanity." "Thank you," Tae-young replied, "for showing me what true strength means." The blue light from the well exploded upward, touching the sky. It spread across Koros 7, then jumped to hyperspace, racing across the galaxy at impossible speeds. Every human felt it for a brief moment. A tingling in their blood, a whisper in their dreams, a promise of what they might become, given time. In the temple, Tae-yang collapsed. His eyes faded from silver to normal. Sujin's ghost smiled and disappeared, finally free after 1,000 years of watching. Velt stared at the scene, his weapon lowered. Around the temple, Sarth soldiers stood silent, unsure what they had just witnessed. Haewon ran to Tae-young. He was still breathing, but barely. His heartbeat was weak and irregular. "You idiot," she sobbed. "You stupid, brave idiot." "Did it work?" Tae-young whispered. "I do not know. Haewon stopped. Tae-young's eyes were changing again. Not to silver. To something else. His genetic code was rewriting itself. She realized. The seal was incorporating into his DNA, making him the first human of a new baseline. "He is not dying," a new voice said. Everyone turned. A Sarth officer stepped forward, one Tae-young had not seen before. She was smaller than the others, her scales a different shade. "I am Commander Nari," she said. "I have been monitoring this situation from orbit. I opposed Ambassador Velt's plan to destroy you immediately." "You are too soft," Velt hissed at her. "No, I am practical." Nari looked at Tae-young. What he did. Choosing to lock away power. Sacrificing himself to save his species. No other race in the Council has ever done that. We have argued about humans for centuries. Are they dangerous? Are they too emotional? Too unpredictable? She pointed at the quantum relay. Billions of beings across the galaxy just watched a human prove he could be trusted with godlike power. And he chose to seal it away. 1. That is not the action of a dangerous species. That is wisdom. Velt's scales rattled with anger. The Council will not accept this. Some will not. But they will debate it. And that is better than immediate extinction. Nari turned to her soldiers. "Lower your weapons. We are leaving." "You are making a mistake," Velt said. "Perhaps. But it is mine to make." Nari looked at Haewon and Bo-ra. "Take care of him. Humanity may need him yet." The Sarth forces withdrew. The temple fell silent, except for Tae-yang's shallow breathing. He opened his eyes one more time. They were normal now, but with tiny flecks of silver that came and went like starlight. "Tell me," he whispered to Haewon. "Did we save them? Did we save humanity?" Haewon did not know the answer. But she held his hand and said, "Yes, you did." Tae-young woke up in a white room. For a moment, he thought he was dead. Then, pain came flooding back, and he knew he was alive. Dead people did not hurt this much. "Easy," Haewon's voice. She was sitting beside his bed. "You have been unconscious for 3 days. Where are we?" His throat felt like sand. A medical station. Neutral territory. The Galactic Council is holding emergency sessions to discuss what happened. She helped him drink water. They cannot decide if you are a hero or a threat. "What about Hyun?" Haewon paused. "He is gone. When you completed the ritual, his consciousness merged completely with yours. All his memories are there. But he is not a separate entity anymore. You are just you." Tae-young closed his eyes. He could feel the truth of it. Hyun's knowledge was in his mind. But the warrior's voice was silent. He felt hollow. He had gotten used to not being alone in his own head. "The seal worked," Haewon continued. "We tested your blood. Your DNA has changed. The communion is encoded into your genetics, but dormant, locked away, unless you consciously choose to access tiny portions of it. And even then, the power is limited. What about other humans? That is the interesting part. The seal you and Sujin created spread across hyperspace. Every human alive felt it. The genetic encoding is now part of humanity's baseline DNA. Your children, and their children, and their children's children, will all carry the communion as dormant potential. Bora entered the room carrying food. You are awake. Good. You missed all the political drama. Tell me, Taeyang said. So, they told him. About how the quantum broadcast had reached every council species. About how billions of beings watched a human sacrifice godlike power to protect the galaxy. About the debates that followed. Half the council wanted protocol extinction anyway. They argued that dormant communion was still too dangerous. That humanity would eventually unlock it and threaten everyone. Better to eliminate the threat now. The other half argued for mercy. They said what Taeyang did proved humans could be trusted. That choosing to lock away power required more wisdom than any evolved species had ever shown. The vote is happening today, Bora said. Extinction or survival. It is that close. Taeyang tried to sit up. His body felt strange, stronger than before but also fragile, like it had been taken apart and put back together slightly wrong. I need to speak to them, he said. You can barely stand, Haewon argued. I have to try. This is my fault. I broke the seal. I need to face the consequences. They argued for an hour, but eventually helped him get dressed. A Sarth escort arrived to take them to the council chambers. Taeyang recognized one of them. Commander Nari. You look terrible, she said. I feel terrible, Taeyang admitted. Good. That means you are learning. She led them through corridors filled with aliens of a dozen species. All of them stared at Taeyang. Some with fear, some with curiosity, some with hatred. The council chambers were massive. Representatives from every species sat in a circle around a central floor. Taeyang was brought to the middle. Above him, holographic displays showed his face to thousands of observers watching from across the galaxy. Ambassador Velt stood to speak first. This human broke ancient seals, released a power that threatened the galaxy. His actions could have destroyed us all, but they did not. Nari countered from her seat. He stopped himself, made a choice that none of us would have made in his position. Because humans are unpredictable, another representative said. A floating jellyfish-like creature that spoke through translation devices. Today he chooses wisdom. Tomorrow he might choose war. That is true of any species, Nari said. We all have the capacity for both good and evil. The debate raged for hours. Taeyang stood in the center, forced to listen, as aliens discussed whether his entire species should be allowed to live. It was humbling and terrifying. Finally, the council leader called for silence. She was an ancient being, older than most civilizations. Her species had joined the council first, thousands of years ago. Taeyang of Earth, she said. You have caused a crisis, but you also provided a solution. We would hear your words before we vote. Taeyang's legs shook, but he stood tall. I made a terrible mistake. I was arrogant. I thought I knew better than those who came before me. I thought I could control something that should have stayed sealed. He paused, gathering his thoughts. But I also learned something. Humans are not perfect. We make mistakes. We are emotional and curious and sometimes reckless. But we can also admit when we are wrong. We can sacrifice. We can choose the greater good over personal power. Pretty words, Velt hissed. But words are easy. Then judge me by actions, Taeyang said. I had the power to reshape reality, to become something beyond human. I could have fought, could have run. Instead, I chose to lock that power away, not just from me, but from every human, For the next 10,000 years. He looked around at all the alien faces. You fear what we might become. I understand that. But we fear it too. That is why we made this choice. The communion is part of us now. But it is sleeping. By the time humanity naturally evolves to access it, we will be ready. We will be wise. In T. Or you will be more dangerous, someone shouted. Maybe, Taeyang agreed. Maybe in 10,000 years. Humanity will be a threat. But maybe we will be allies. Maybe we will help you face threats you cannot imagine yet. You will not know, unless you give us the chance to grow. The council leader studied him with eyes that had seen civilizations rise and fall. And what of the other seals? There are 12 more. On. Koros. 7. They are dormant now, Taeyang said. The new genetic seal I created feeds on the old seals. They will not fail. The other 12 will sleep forever. Their power transformed into the same dormant encoding that all humans now carry. You cannot promise that, Velt said. No, Taeyang admitted. But I can promise to watch over them, to dedicate my life to making sure they never wake. That is my burden, my responsibility. Silence filled the chamber. Then Nari stood. I vote for mercy, she said. Let humanity live. Let them prove themselves. Over time. I vote for extinction, Velt said immediately. They are too dangerous. One by one, the representatives voted. The holographic displays tracked the numbers. It was close. So close. Taeyang felt his heart pounding, knowing that billions of human lives depended on this moment. The final vote came down to the council leader. Her vote would break the tie. She looked at Taeyang for a long moment. Your species is young, impulsive, dangerous in ways you do not yet understand. But what I saw in your actions was not the behavior of a threat. It was the behavior of a species learning wisdom. She raised her hand. I vote for a conditional survival. Humanity will be watched closely. Any sign of the communion activating early, any attempt to break the genetic seals, will result in immediate protocol extinction. But for now, you live. Relief crashed through Taeyang. He almost collapsed but caught himself. Around the chamber, some representatives cheered. Others sat in angry silence. This is a mistake, Velt said. Perhaps, the council leader replied. But it is a mistake I choose to make. Humanity has earned one chance. Let us see what they do with it. The session ended. Taeyang was escorted out by Nari. In the corridor, Haewon hugged him tight. Bora clapped him on the shoulder, grinning. We are alive, Bora said. All of us. Everyone. For now, Taeyang said. But this is just the beginning. Nari nodded. You are right. The council will be watching humanity forever now. You must be very careful. Nari. 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 I will be, Taeyang promised. 10 years passed. Taeyang stood in the same temple on Koros 7. It had been rebuilt, turned into a monument. The well was sealed again, but with a new lid. This one had inscriptions in 100 languages. Humanity chose tomorrow over today, it read. He visited the temple once a year, making sure the seals remained stable. So far, they had held perfectly. The other 12 remained asleep. Their power transformed into dormant potential, carried by every human alive. Taeyang was the official ambassador to the Galactic Council now. It had been a hard decade. Many species still did not trust humans. But slowly, gradually, attitudes were changing. Humans were proving they could be responsible members of the galactic community. Haewon joined him at the well. She was his partner in all things now, both personal and professional. Do you ever regret it? She asked. Giving up the power? Taeyang looked at his reflection in the polished lid. His eyes flickered with silver, for just a moment, then returned to normal. The genetic seal was not perfect. Tiny fragments of the communion leaked through sometimes. Enough for him to sense things others could not. Enough to remind him of what he gave up. Every day, he admitted. Hyun's memories show me what I could have been. The things I could have done. Hyun. But Hyun also showed me why it was necessary. Power without wisdom is destruction. Humanity was not ready. Maybe, in 10,000 years, we will be. And what if we are not? What if we never are? Taeyang smiled. Then the seals will keep us safe from ourselves. That is the covenant. The promise we made to the galaxy and to each other. They walked back to their ship together. Above them, the sky was full of stars, human colonies on dozens of worlds, human ships traveling ancient trade routes, humanity spreading across the galaxy, slowly earning their place among the stars. That night, Taeyang dreamed. In his dream, he saw the future. 10,000 years from now. Humans with silver eyes, moving through dimensions that current humanity could not perceive. But they were not monsters. They were helpers, healers, teachers. They had learned wisdom through time. The communion had awakened, but humanity was ready. He woke with tears on his face. Haewon held him in the darkness. "What did you see?" she asked. "Hope," he said. "I saw hope." Across the galaxy, other humans slept and dreamed similar dreams. The dormant communion stirred in their blood, patient and quiet, waiting for the day when humanity would truly be ready to embrace their destiny. That day would come. But not today. Today, humanity lived, learned, grew, and that was enough. In the temple on Koros 7, the sealed well glowed faintly in the darkness. Inside, deep below the stone and metal, water still flowed, blue and ancient, and full of promise. Waiting, always waiting, for the humans who would one day return, wise enough to drink without fear, strong enough to handle the power, humble enough to use it well. The covenant held. Humanity, fuck yeah. Not because they were the strongest, not because they were the smartest, but because when given the choice between power and wisdom, between today and tomorrow, between being gods and being human, they chose the harder path. They chose to wait. They chose to earn it. And that choice made all the difference.